Explosives. Explosives. You may want to instruct your men to exercise restraint when using explosives. 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 Commander.
Alright then, hello everybody! So, let's get ready for today's video for Beyond Legendary. Now, this is a data tap mission, so basically we need to go protect these guys. These are the rebels that have been gathering intel for us for the past few videos. And these guys are now in danger. We gotta protect this objective thingy over here. And we gotta protect these guys too. They are all about to get collapsed on from all sides. We don't know where the enemies might be, but it's usually assumed that there's like one pod of enemies. In fact, they might be right there. Maybe, they might be right there. But there's one group of enemies that are going to attack these guys. One group of enemies that are usually in between us and saving them. And one final group of enemies that are going to ambush us from the sides. So let's get ready for this. I think we'll start by moving our shinobi. Where's our shinobi? Alright, there's our shinobi. So before we begin though, let's kind of go through each of these soldiers so you guys have an idea of what every person does. You're not all confused just looking at people casting random abilities. So this is our snake. This is our ice snake actually. They can shoot twice and they're capable of spitting ice. So they're kind of like an infantry type of unit, kind of a rifleman with ice spitting capabilities. We've got Simav over here. Simav is our stealth shotgun ambusher. Right now they don't have a lot of abilities because they're still low level, so they just look like some random stealth person with a shotgun, but they'll form up a little bit better. They also have this trench gun ability, so their kind of main thing is to sneak up to a group of enemies and hit them all with a trench gun. We got our shinobi over here. This is a sword stealth soldier. This is probably our stealthiest unit here on this mission, so we'll move forward with Adam Wing first. Now you'll notice that we don't start off with concealment on the other units. The only units that have concealment are our phantom units. Waki over here is our ranger, basically an infantry. We've got the marauder perk, allows us to shoot our gun twice if we're standing still. And they also have things like center mass bonus damage, as well as both barrels, so they're allowed to use their sawed-off shotgun to blow things up in close range if necessary. We have Sebras over here. Sebras is our sniper. Over here we got Tobata. This person was on the last video. This is our hijacker, or not hijacker, hacker and shielder person. They also come with a heavy weapon with their spark bit. Our rook over here is a shield unit, so you guys will notice that this person counts as cover. We can take cover against them because they have their own shield, and they've got a decent amount of armor, and they're pretty well built for overwatch and defending. They also create smoke every time they activate their shield wall. Then over here, I think our last person here is Jane Kelly, our sword shotgun person. Pretty self-explanatory. She even has shadow step so she can run past Overwatch and kill things extra hard. Alright, so that is the squad introduced. Let's get this mission underway. I'm going to start off with Adam Wing over here and just peek over this ledge. Found nothing. There's a chance that the enemy pod might also be on top of that rooftop, which is kind of spooky. Another thing we have to keep in mind is that the enemies know how to shoot at these gas tanks. I have to be very careful when trying to get past this gas station.
Moving out.
Gas station is very, very dangerous. I'm curious whether or not Reshi made it so that the AI is smart enough to realize that they can shoot the gas pump to blow up the vehicle to hit our guys. That would be quite interesting if she was able to get the AI to do that. I'm gonna send some mob over here on the left. Try to explore this side of the map a little bit. And there we go. First group of enemies right down there. Perfect. So we know where the first group of enemies are. Let's take our sniper and see if we can get them into a position where they can just shoot these guys. And if I'm standing right against here, we actually do get a shot against that sentry. So I'm actually pretty happy with putting you here or here. I'm a little bit worried about putting you here. This rooftop might block line of sight down there. So it might be worth it to put you over here. The other option is to run you all the way down here. That way you're on level ground and you're not blocked by anything. And you can kind of try to shoot past all this stuff back here. That's not a bad option either. I think for now, though, we're going to put zebras over here. This should be a decent spot for you to go. After that, I think everyone else is just going to run forward as far as they can. Try to get up to those rebels before they get killed by the Chosen. So the Chosen is going to be on this mission, and it is going to be the Warlock. Every type of these defense missions will usually have a Chosen on it. I'm a little bit scared about staying near this vehicle. I think what we'll do is we'll just dash up next to the vehicle, and then next round we get as far away from the vehicle as we can. I think that's what we do.
Roger that.
Move our squad all the way up like this. Queen Kelly's not in stealth, so I have to be a bit careful with her. Put her right back there. And I think that's everyone in the XCOM squad. Their actions are all accounted for. I'm going to quickly burn up their actions so I can tap through these guys without getting interrupted. Now, we know that there's a group of enemies right over there. We also know that there's probably another group somewhere around here, and I'm not sure if that's just the limit of my movement, or... Seems like there's something down there. Okay. Regardless, I think we take cover facing this direction, and then we overwatch. So let's do that. Let's start following this entire squad back this way.
There is no time to delay. Ready for reconnaissance.
Just get these guys back into a position where they can kind of just stay alive, hopefully. We got Mao Chao on this mission. Now, unfortunately, Mao Chao does not have any equipment on them. Every time you hit the unequip squad button, it tends to unequip your Haven visors also. So unfortunately, Mao Chao has no grenades, no armor plating, nothing. Hopefully you'll be okay. I think I'll take cover with you facing this way. There we go. Do we have a window where we can throw the evac from? I just want to have an evac counting down. If someone starts bleeding out and we don't have a medkit for them, I want to make sure that the evac is there to rescue them. This is one of those lessons that you learn after playing a lot of times, and you just keep forgetting the evac zone. And you've lost like dozens of soldiers to bleed out because you couldn't evac them in time. I think even some of the most skilled players will still tend to forget that sometimes.
That's the Elder's Warlock. All reports indicate he's nearly as dangerous as they are when it comes to sight.
Alright guys, it's time for the Elder's favorite Discord moderator.
You have been charged.
Let's get ready to take care of this guy. We'll also take a look at all of their abilities.
Punishment.
Okay, Mr. Warlock. I'll let you guys read through that. You guys can pause if you want to read through that. I already know most of this stuff. Now, one of the things that the Warlock does is, well, you guys probably can't hear me because the audio effects for his skills are so loud that they're not affected by the audio adjustments that I make in the games.
Before it throws off the rest of our operation.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, the first thing the Warlock does when he gets summoned in is he summons 2 more allies, and he marks one of them as his greatest champion. Until you kill that target, the Warlock takes, I think, half damage from every other attack. We did manage to tag that Necromancer with a bit of shots, so we don't have to worry about that guy taking a yellow alert action against us. Here comes a Grub over there. We even tagged the Grub with some damage. Perfect. Beautiful shots from everyone. Almost killed them, too. Here comes the next group of enemies right there. Sentry and Medic. I forgot how many enemies were supposed to show up on this mission. Oof! From behind, right through the garage doors. Uh-ohs. I thought those doors would be closed. Okay, let's start moving forward with Samav over here. Try to get vision on that other group of guys right down here. Now, we have one of 2 options. We can either immediately start shooting at them with our sniper, or we can use lead the target and wait for them to activate next round, and we'll get a free shot off against them. In terms of what's better, I'm not quite certain. I think I want 1 extra turn to reposition away from this gas pump, because these things are kind of dangerous. Yeah, the radius of this indicator is a little bit bugged. It's actually half this radius. For some reason, it's showing the remote start radius that Reapers have in vanilla, but it should only be 2 tiles wide. So at the very least, we should be able to get clear of this in 1 round. The other target that we can shoot at is the Warlock, and you know what? Let's go introduce the Warlock to you guys. So you guys can pause the video to kind of read through this if you want. I'll just slowly scroll through this so you guys can pause and look at it. Since this is an over-explained series, I will go through and talk about these things myself too. So the Warlock as a Chosen is a very straightforward one. The Chosen have a couple of new abilities. So one of the new abilities that they get is... where is it? The Chosen Prime Reaction. All Chosen have this ability. Gain a reduced mobility, movement action, or combat readiness after taking damage on XCOM's turn. So every time you hit this guy, he'll move to a safer location. So if you throw a grenade to expose him, he'll try to run to cover. He can also attack, but not like in the traditional sense, so they can't just shoot back. They can activate their abilities. So I'll go through some of how this works. I know it's probably going to be very overwhelming reading all this stuff. But, alright, so he's got the fire weapon ability. They can kidnap if someone is bleeding out. All soldiers are guaranteed to bleed out while the Chosen are on the field. I think that is this ability right here. For soldiers only, not rebels, bleeding out is a 100% chance when dealt a killing blow when Chosen is present. So you'll always try to make sure to try and capture your people. And as you guys saw earlier, he did have the called Warlock's Greatest Champion over here. He gives a shield, aim, crit chance, will, and psi offense bonuses to an ally. And while that ally is alive, the Warlock gains 67% damage reduction. So he pretty much takes 0 damage while the ally is alive. So we saw that he marked the sectoid earlier. So we have to kill that sectoid first before we get to work on the Warlock. Anything else? Anything else? He has the ability to mind control, mind scorch, teleport ally. He can also summon spectral zombies. I think a lot of these are his vanilla abilities. Mind Scorch is a new one. This one allows him to just do like a small bit of damage to an ally, as well as possibly having a chance to burn them. And this chains, so if you have multiple allies that are next to each other, you'll actually hit all of them at once. Something to keep in mind. Anything else? Most of that other stuff is his vanilla abilities, and they act very similarly to vanilla. They're immune to all mental impairments and frost, so you can't freeze them like in vanilla. They're also immune to mental impairments, so things like stun, disorient, none of that stuff affects them, panic. This is a unique thing to the Warlock. The Warlock always starts off with Close Combat Specialist as one of his abilities. So essentially, in a ring around this guy, if any soldier enters, or tries to attack, or tries to run in any direction, he's going to get a free shot off against them, and it's once per each soldier that tries to run in. So if you have 5 soldiers and you try to run all 5 of them, and he is going to get to shoot at all of them 5 times, or 1 time each person. So that's something to keep in mind. The Warlock does have a bit of defenses about him because of that. What other things do you guys need to know about how the Warlock plays? The Warlock is also capable of... oh, interesting, he has grazing attacks. So misses may become grazes. This is an ability that all Chosen have, so they all have balance. They're near immune to critical hits, and what that actually means is they have... how do I showcase the critical hit chance? They have like a 200% critical hit resistance or something. It's not showing here because none of our shots have crit chance. But yeah, in order to actually even be able to crit the Chosen, you have to break past 200% crit chance. So if you want to have a 100% crit chance against a Chosen, you have to have like 300% crit chance, which is probably not happening for most builds. Pretty much all builds. There are some abilities that force critical hits. Those abilities will actually still go off though. Anything else that I need to show to you guys? Vault, they can jump up buildings. Protected against Requiem, Corrosion, and Nightmare Bombs. That's kind of a late game status ailment. You guys don't have to worry too much about that. They can't be blinded. And they also have layered armor. Any single source of damage to this unit cannot destroy more than 40% of their max HP. So with this guy, he's got 31 HP, so 40% of that's like probably around like a little bit more than 10 HP. So you can't do more than like what, 10, 12 damage. I'm just randomly guessing here. But yeah, you can't destroy more than 40% of his HP in one attack. So at minimum, it will take 3 attacks to kill him, assuming you get like really, really big hits. And that's pretty tough to do without getting critical hits. One of the few ways to do that is actually using a Fusilier unit. The Fusilier's guaranteed crit with the auto sniper rifle does so much damage. They also cannot be targeted by stasis, field, containment field, invert, transposition, or glacial tomb. So unlike in vanilla, you can't use stasis abilities on them. This guy's weak to skirmishers and combat readiness. So one of the things they can do when they get hit by an attack is they can either move, or if they're already in good cover, they will activate their combat readiness, which is a stackable 10% explosive damage reduction and 10% defense bonus in cover for the rest of your turn, and remove the immobilized debuff. So if you immobilize them, they'll activate combat readiness and be able to move on the next attack against them. And if they're inside good cover and you just start slapping them with a bunch of grenades, they'll slowly take less and less damage from each of those grenades, and they'll be harder and harder to hit through cover. So in a sense, you want to try to get flanks against them. That way they're forced to move instead of getting defense reductions. But in practice, there will be a lot of times where you just want to throw a bunch of grenades on them with your rebels. It kind of depends on the situation here. I think that's about it though. So that's all you guys need to know about the Warlock. He has the ability to defend himself if you try to close the distance. He has all his vanilla psionic abilities. And they do go on cooldown for some amount of turns. Yeah, it says right here how long each of those cooldowns are. He is allowed to activate these abilities on his reactions, wherever that is, the chosen prime reaction. I know for certain he can do Spectral Army. I don't know if he's allowed to activate some of these other ones. I think he is, but it really depends. I sometimes just see him moving around all the time. I think it depends on whether or not you're flanking him and if he feels uncomfortable. Alright. Excuse me. But yeah, that should be that. Let's get ready to take care of this guy. One other thing for you guys to know about his defensive ability, Close Combat Specialist. Whenever we close a distance, he'll shoot at us. If he is burned or if he is suppressed, he will not get to use this. So that is a special use case of those abilities to try to negate his defensive powers. And the Chosen are weak to poison, as well as acid, fire, and all those other kind of bleed effects. That's something else to keep in mind. At least in the early game they are. I think they start gaining more and more immunities as the game goes on. But yeah, let's go play this out here. So we have a Grub and a Necromancer. There's 2 guys right behind these fellows. This guy just took a big hit here. We need to turn around, take care of that sentry probably. Maybe try and... What's the best way to start this off? I want to get rid of that Frost Sectoid also. And I want my team to be able to move forward. I think we start shooting at them. With our sniper. So with our sniper here, we got a shot against that trooper, the gunner, the engineer, the sentry, or the warlock. I think we start off against the gunner down there. The gunner has the highest damaging weapon, and I really do not want him hitting our units with that. So good job to Seabrez. The target has been destroyed. Now the rest of our guys are going to move up and try to take care of these remaining enemies over here. Wati is going to be in position to take a shot against that sentry. Let's see if we can down him. There's a decent chance he might. Beautiful shot from Wati over there. And after that, we just gotta make sure that we stay 2 tiles away from that explosive barrel. I think this is 2 tiles away. 1, 2. Yeah, that should be far enough away, so we should be able to come up to here. We'll also activate our shield wall so we can get a bit of smoke on this fellow. A 65% chance to hit that sentry. I'm going to go for the nullifying shot. This is going to make it... Actually, you know what? Let's save that nullifying shot for the warlock, actually. The nullifying shot, not negates, but it reduces their stats a little bit, and it also does double damage against psionic units. I believe this counts against the warlock, so I'm going to take the nullifying shot here. A bit of damage, not the most. I was kind of hoping that we could hit him a little bit harder than that. Who else can get in position? I wish it was easier to kind of cycle through our soldiers. I wish there was a way to just only cycle through XCOM or only cycle through the rebels. Now, our shinobi here is still in stealth. We're gonna send Adam Wing up just a little bit closer from this side.
Roger that.
And just try to scout out this side. I think we found all the enemies on the map, but I just want to make sure, just in case. This guy just killed a guy and his death from above ability activated, so we should take the time to reload the auto sniper since this gun only has 1 ammo per shot. We got Tobata over here. He can give a shield protocol to someone if necessary. I think we'll try to down that sentry up there. Let's see if our shooter snake can do this. We got a pretty decent shot here. See if we can flush him out. Not gonna connect, nice try. Our shooter snake hasn't been able to perform very well recently. Hopefully as he ranks up, we'll get a bit more accuracy. Let's continue moving Samov up and just try to scout out where the rest of the enemies might be hiding. And everyone else probably just needs to run up and try to close that distance. Yeah, let's just run up and try to close that distance. We'll put Jane Kelly on the top section over there so she can evade fire. And we want her to be healthy, so when she runs down here, she'll be at full HP. And we also want to have, I guess Tobata should come in too. I think this is out of range of the explosives, so this should be safe. We have a shot that we can take here, or we can use the Plasma Blaster. If I can hit both the Sectoid and the Sentry, I'd use the Plasma Blaster, but I can't hit both of them right now, so let's just go for a shot on that Sentry. I could also go for the Shield Protocol this round. Shield Protocol or try to kill the Sentry? I feel like I'd rather just try to kill the Sentry. There we go, Sentry does get grazed to death, nice job.
How many is that now?
And I think that's all of XCOM's actions taken up, so now it's up to the rebels. You guys need to figure out how to get through this yourselves. This guy's got 6 HP, he can survive against that sentry no matter what happens, so I'm going to start with this guy and run him all the way back here. Oh no, I didn't expect the second to shoot at him also. I think they both missed their shots. Or not missed, but they didn't get a full hit off, so that's good. I'm gonna start grenading the sentry to get some damage off against this fellow. Try to knock him out if we can. One grenade. Let's get one more grenade back here and see if we can take care of him. You can also get him with the shield bash actually. Let's use that. Shield bash doesn't do a whole bunch of damage, but it should have a decent chance of knocking out the sentry. Let's see if we can get this guy. Perfect. Nice work, sentry is dead. Now all that's left is to focus on that medic. Let's see if you guys will be able to take care of this fellow. This is also going to allow us to get our rebels into a much more defensive position, so that they are far less exposed to the shenanigans up there. These rebels do not have a lot of HP and they don't have a lot of armor or shielding. So we want to make sure that they are as safe as possible. It's generally pretty hard to rescue all the rebels alive. I find that every time I do my first data tap mission, there's always at least like one rebel that dies. Almost always. At least that's how it feels to me. There we go. Everything behind us has been taken care of. Now we can focus on the stuff that's in front of us. I'm a little bit worried about moving this fellow. I think the Warlock can shoot him from here. Yeah, I feel like the Warlock can shoot you from here, so you don't want to move too much. We'll just keep you down here and allow you to kind of entrench yourself in this full cover spot. We'll try to knock that thing out. It could have loot, so I do want to take shots against it. Aliens tend to have things like Illyrium cores, and I do want to try really, really hard to get those if possible. Nice shot. And it was loot, nice. And all that's left is to deal with that sectoid up there. Bring this fellow up here. There is that sectoid. We could try to shoot him to death. We could also try to flashbang. This type of sectoid does summon perma-zombies. So I do want to prevent this guy from summoning his perma-zombies. We can actually flashbang this guy as well as that trooper, so that's kind of a good value flashbang. We will take that. Here comes a Chosen. Mind Scorch. Watch out there, Rebel. Oof. 2 hits. No burns, though. We rolled pretty well there. Seems like most of these enemies that are disoriented will just shoot at the objective. The objective has a lot of HP, so I'm okay with them taking a couple shots against it. Uh-oh. Ouch. Big damage on our teammate there. That hurt quite badly, actually. That did 4 damage. Did the engineers get their damage output buffed, or was that just a crit? Might have just been a crit. Sectoid over here is going for a mind control. Who's he mind controlling? Uh-oh. Who was that?
They're moving to flank me.
Okay, that's our shooter snake. I'll keep that in mind. And just crit us? Excuse me? Rude? Okay, don't kill your teammate.
Your selfish pursuits under the
That's
guise of
Sectoid. We need to get this guy. We can do a lot of damage to this fellow. We just need a little bit more to ensure that he goes down. There's also Overwatch coming out from that Advent Trooper. Although Jane Kelly has Shadow Step, so I'm not too worried about that. I just want to make sure that we have follow-up to kill that Sectoid. I think if I open this door, I can shoot that guy. Perfect. Get some damage off on that Sectoid, please. Not the best amount of damage. Let's get one of the guys that are further in the backside here.
What's
These
your
guys
battle
should
plan?
be able to weaken the Sectoid down so Jane Kelly can score that kill. Beautiful damage. That should be enough. Alright, Jane, where are ya? Need your help, Jane. It can also be Adam Wing's job, too. Maybe we make that Adam Wing's job, actually, because Adam Wing can't actually hit anything else over here, and I don't really need this person's stealth anymore. So I think it's actually better if Adam Wing takes this. Nice and stealthy, running in right past that Overwatch from earlier. And it does seem like we got that kill, because that zombie died before the Sectoid went down. There we go. And we got our teammate back here. You okay there, buddy? Not looking too hot. Gonna have to medkit that guy. The mob also took quite a big hit there. And there's this trooper that's about to shoot us in the back, so we do have to worry about that a bit. If there's someone around here that can get rid of that Overwatch or run it for us, that would be quite nice. Maybe we just have Jane Kelly run up and kill this guy, that works too. Although Jane Kelly can't really get to a good angle to attack him from. That's the one issue that I've got here. Yeah, Jane Kelly's kind of exposed if she runs up like that. How's our sniper? Alright, you've got a pretty good shot there. That's actually pretty awesome. I might take that shot. Let's try to remove that Overwatch from that trooper. Oof, not gonna connect. Try, nice try. Get up a little bit closer. I do want to use this Plasma Blaster to hit the Warlock. It does apply 1 damage of Rupture, meaning all future attacks against the Warlock will do an extra bonus point of damage. So if I could hit the Warlock with this, this is actually pretty solid. I'm not going for the kill against Warlock yet though, so it's not time to go against him just yet. Instead, what I'm going to do though, is I am going to put a shield up on Simab over here, so that Simab is not going to die in one shot. There you go, Simab, you're a little bit bulked up here. And let's see, who's going to run that Overwatch? I guess it'll be Simab's job to run back this way. He's disoriented, so it's unlikely that he lands that hit.
The fragile forms.
There we go, Simab. You've got an okay shot against this guy, take it. Oof, not gonna get him though. Best, not the best. Is there any other way we can get to these guys? A little bit closer with our rebels. Try to maybe... I should have actually just moved forward with this guy first and bombed him, maybe. Let's start bombing down this trooper and see if we can just knock him out. Start getting some bits of chip damage off against them. These beyond legendary super bulky troopers are such a pain in the butt to deal with. And we also can't reach him easily. grenade's also on cooldown, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, let's just try to hit something, seeing as how you can't do anything else this round. Take a YOLO shot. I could also Overwatch with you, but I'd rather just see if you land a shot on our round, so we can decide what we want to do after that. The rest of you guys are just going to keep on moving up and try to tag some shots against these fellows.
But then again,
Let's try.
no one seems to look too closely into that kind of thing.
Let's try. We're just going to take a whole bunch of YOLO shots. Just fish for some random hits. You never know when you get a really heroic guy. Oh, that was a good shot right there. Look at that.
Okay, I'll go.
Mao Chao over here, unfortunately, is too far away to help out. We're just gonna bring Mao Chao a little bit closer, perhaps, or I can shields up. I think I shields up instead.
Digging in.
Maybe shields up and Overwatch. Alright, there we go. Wati over here's got a couple of shots. Maybe we have Wati take some shots. I could do that, or I could start running Wati in and get ready to both barrels the Warlock. I think I'll just take shots right now. Our main goal here is just kind of remove all the little minions that the Warlock has. And once we remove those guys, we can kind of focus all our attention against him. Unlike the Assassin and the Hunter, he's not really particularly focused on killing. He mostly just kind of does annoying things with his psionic abilities, so it's better for us to just remove everything else, I think. I also want to get Jane Kelly just a little bit closer so she can get ready to start killing those guys next round. Snake over here, I think we should probably just medkit or something. We'll take one shot on medkit. Ooh, nice shot. Not bad, actually. Can you kill him? No, you can't kill him. Alright, medkit yourself up. I don't want you sitting around with 4 HP. Sitting around with 4 HP against these guys is just asking for bad things to happen. And we're just gonna slowly approach the Warlock and everyone else up there. We'll try to knock this guy out. I'm gonna shield wall really quick and just try to tag this guy with some damage. The shield wall does give us combat simulants from the smoke that he farts out. That's plus 10 extra aim. There's a decent chance that we get this guy.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Let's try. Oh! Oh, he just dies from the hypothermia. Interesting. Ooh, sneaky move by the Warlock, though. The objective is slowly going down. We are going to need to start acting against it. This Necromancer unfortunately does get a chance to summon up his perma-zombies, so we are going to take care of that. But we got a lot of people in the backline, so that should be okay. Here comes a trooper taking the shot. Does not get a chance to down one of our rebels. That's good. I was a little bit worried that he might get away with that. Okay, let's start killing everything here. So we're gonna start with this trooper down here. Jane, get him. Nice job, Jane. One guy downed.
Hostile target down.
And let's see if we can get the other few guys around here. And then after that, we'll start working on the Warlock. We're almost there, though. It's kind of a slow and tough fight, but eventually we'll get there. I'm gonna take this time to reload a Seabrez. I could go for the Plasma Blaster on the Warlock soon. I think we should be starting to do that soon. Not yet, though.
It's killing time.
Reload with Shinan over here. Take another shot on the zombie, see if we can down it. Not quite. Not quite.
Back online.
Wati over here also has no ammo.
Let's get this show on the road.
The rest of our units up a little bit closer. Can I hit one of the... Oh, I can get the sectoid from back here. That's cool. Nope. Can somebody here get that sectoid? That would be really appreciated. Alright, Rebel, can you finish off that sectoid for us? Well, maybe if you weren't aiming the gun sideways before
Then
you
again,
started shooting.
no one seems to look too closely into that kind of thing.
Alright. Rachel over here is gonna have to stand out in the open, but there's an entire wall between her and everything else up there, so this should be safe. 86. There you go. Even a grease hit was enough to knock him out. Now then, somebody else over here should come pick up that loot, because that loot is about to expire. There we go, that's an Illyrium core right there. And I'm gonna have this fella over here come and grab this loot also. Oh my goodness, we just got 3 Illyrium cores just from downing aliens with our bullets. That's amazing. Okay, and then all that's left is to take care of the remaining zombies around here. How do I get the remaining zombies? Well, I have you over here. We also have Samov. Although I want Samov to grab that loot, so Samov's gonna come over here. There we go, auto-loader. Let's close that distance a little bit. Over here we've got the snake. Try to down something here. There we go, 1 frost guy downed. Can you down a second one? Oh, nice job! Okay, our snake kind of making up for everything that went wrong earlier. That's awesome. Now then, it's time to try and take care of the Warlock now. He's the only one left. Let's figure out how we're gonna do this. I should put a shield protocol probably on someone that's gonna be in the front lines. I'm thinking one of the people that's gonna be in the front lines is gonna be Jane Kelly, probably. He's already got shielding, though. It's either her or Adam Wing. I think I'll give one to Adam Wing. Just as long as somebody gets a shield. I don't really know who's the best shield person's gonna be. None of these really help us out against the Warlocks, and none of that's going to be particularly relevant here. I'll shoot this next round. Maybe I overwatch this round, or do I... Okay, next round we'll go for it. Next round. This round I just kind of want to get closer to the Warlock so we can get ready to start killing him. Make sure we're reloaded up. Ready for action. Everybody just reload your guns if you haven't already done so, and just go on Overwatch, I guess. I kind of don't want him summoning more zombies, so I'm not going to hit him yet. Yeah, everyone just, like, prepare to fight him next round. This is the preparation turn. And in fact, I think if I hit him with the Plasma Blaster, there's a chance that he'll drop down. So I need to relocate my sniper to a position where they can actually hit him. I think from down here should be good. Alright, let's get ready to take care of this boss unit here. Bit of damage onto our Rook over there. Ouch. Alright, let's start off with this over here. Try to smack him with a nice old Plasma Blaster. Beautiful damage, and he just ragdolls straight down. Beautiful work. Here comes the Spectral Army. We'll have our Rebels take care of these summons. That way he'll be taken back out of stasis and we can start attacking him again. This is going to be one of those long drawn out fights. I find that when you're fighting against the Warlock, you have to expect to, expect a long war of attrition, basically. I find that's what ends up happening. Get the guys that are further back to go for the kill on the zombie, maybe. Almost, not quite. One more shot is needed. You're out of ammo. You're also out of ammo. This guy's not out of ammo. But this guy also can't see the zombie from here. He can flank the Warlock next round, so we'll have you do the flanking against the Warlock. We'll have you take care of the Spectral Lancer. There we go. Warlock is back out and exposed. Now, we have our Rebels expend as many actions as they can get against this fellow. And by flanking him from over here, that will force him to get out of this little full cover slot here where he's hiding from the rest of our troops down there. There we go. Ooh, wrong place, Warlock. I can't get closer to him without him shooting at me, though. We'll take the shot here. Try. Can our sniper hit him? Okay, you can get him. That's pretty good. What we're going to do is we're going to lead the target. That will be slightly more accurate than just taking the regular shot here. And maybe we'll try a nullifying shot from our rook here. Let's do that.
Green to go.
Take a quick reload. You have to activate your shield wall for free. And finally we'll try a nullifying shot against this fellow. Not gonna connect, unfortunate. Can somebody else get him with the nullifying shot? Maybe Mao Chao?
Will be costly at this stage, Commander.
Yeah, Mao Chao, can you get him with the nullifying shot? I just want to try to get some big damage off against him, because I think he's psionic. Oh no, he doesn't count him as psionic, so nullifying shot does not double its damage against the Warlock, unfortunately. The shot from our sniper does come down when he tries to take his reaction, and he does just eat a whole bunch of damage. He really does not like his position though, so he's actually going to just teleport out of there. Now then, we've almost got a kill on him. We just need a little bit more help here. Can we get this fellow? How many other people can actually assist in killing him? Jane Kelly does have the Shadow Step, so she should actually be able to run past his little defensive thingies. Bring Jane Kelly down to here. Big damage, not too bad. Almost got him, Jane. Oh, he is just only teleporting now because he just does not like any of his positions. But Jane Kelly is just gonna keep on hunting him down. Nice work. That is the Warlock downed.
Hostile terminated.
You know, this is actually a really good mission. We didn't lose a single person, and all we took was a couple injuries. And they were shallow injuries,
Status
too.
confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished. Excellent work, Commander.
Alright then, good job to our squad. That was our very first data tap for our YouTube series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. These types of missions tend to get really fun in the later parts of the game, when things get bulkier and bulkier and tougher to kill.
If they decide to face us again, we'll be ready.
But good job to our squad, though. All the rebels survived. I'm very surprised by that. Usually at least one rebel dies on these types of missions. But I guess after streaming this Beyond Legendary stuff for so long, we're getting better at being able to keep things alive now. That's very good to hear. I'll see you guys back in base. Alright, let's go welcome back our soldiers. They all did excellently here. Hopefully we got a lot of promotions here. Particularly, I'm looking for a promotion on our sniper.
We still have much to
But
learn.
we're going to be taking a little bit more bulkiness on the rook. Jane Kelly over here is now going to be able to do much more damage with swords. Babada over here grants 2 additional shield protocol charges. I think that's exactly what we're aiming for, right? I'm pretty sure we're just going to go for that. And finally, our gorilla. Unfortunately, our sharpshooter did not promote from that. Unfortunate. That's alright, though. Okay, we got a few alloys and Elerium crystals from killing the Chosen. When the Chosen is still considered, like, quote, level 1, you have 3 alloys and 3 Elerium cores from killing them. Once they promote to level 2 Chosen, you will get 6 alloys and 6 crystals, and once you're at the final stage of Chosen, you get 9 crystals and 9 alloys. Nice amount of loot to get, particularly the Elerium cores. This is why I'm so cautious in killing the enemies with bullets if they're aliens, because they always drop really, really good loot drops. Okay then. Let's keep on scanning. Now, it's been a while since we, we're back here. We were spending some time over there trying to pick up that engineer. Now, I think we can either keep on scanning over here for more liberations, or we can start scanning over here to liberate a second region. Oops, did not mean to click build faster.
It states.
Do we have our other liberation mission running here? We do not have another liberation mission running here. I forgot how much liberation progress we've made so far, so let me check that really quickly. Each dot represents 1 liberation mission completed, so that means we're actually on our Liberation 2 missions in both of these regions. Seeing as how this place has 11 strength, I think it probably makes the most sense to come up here to try and liberate that. Yeah, idea of how this map is laid out. I think we want to liberate this spot first. If I liberate this spot first, this kind of chokes the entire left side of the map from accessing North America. Then they're only able to access North America from the right side over here, as well as from the southern side over here. So if we lock down this spot, that's pretty nice. And there's literally only one entranceway in here, and as long as I make sure that this region over here is locked down, once I liberate this spot, and once I take control over these side regions around here, then we no longer have to worry about this place ever getting invaded once I liberate it. So I think we work on this area up here. Also, the strength has built up here a little bit more than the strength down there. So I think it's much better that we just kind of liberate this before the strength gets too high.
Laboratory facility
Our research and development has finally completed, and you guys will be greeted with this really cool animation for this new facility. This is kind of like a mix of a workshop and laboratory with a little bit of the functionality of the proving grounds, which might sound really strange, but I'll explain that a little bit more for you guys. But the modders really wanted us to see the little bit of work that they put in, so we have this unskippable little cutscene there. Alright, engineer required. Let's throw one engineer in here. So we got 2 slots for the engineers. This will activate the gremlins. And the staffing gremlins will be exactly the same as the vanilla ones. They just dig out the stuff around the sides. And over here we have scientist slots. In fact, I might want to buy this. Can't buy this, unfortunately. We don't have enough power yet. One of the first things we want to build is probably going to be the power center, seeing as how we're already pretty much capped out in power. Let's send the gremlins down to here. The other thing we want to build is the laboratory, and I'm planning on building that laboratory into this shield power coil here. Okay, and that should be it for now. The research and development also has this new little project section over here. This is a set of projects that doesn't require any research to do. All you have to do is have the necessary unique modded corpses in here and the amount of time spent, and you'll just get this material for free. Or not free, but you get the material. And yeah. There's also these crates that we've been picking up. You can open these crates by paying a little bit of supplies. Now, if you have enough scientists, so down here you'll see that there's a free version of these openings. If you have enough engineers and scientists, you can open them for free. I generally tend not to pay cash to open these. They're kind of like little loot crates where you have a possibility of getting each of these unique things. But for the most part though, I find that not many builds specifically need these items, and it's much better to just wait until you get the engineers and scientists necessary to open them for free. I tend to just sell the stuff that's inside of these. Now, if I end up getting something like, I don't know, like a purple crate early on, and I happen to have a lot of engineers and scientists, I do consider opening it for cash just because you can get like endgame level equipment here. So for example, purple stuff is considered plasma tier, and blue stuff is considered mag tier stuff. So if you can get like these crates really early on, it might be worth it if you have the engineers and scientists to just kind of pay the little bits of supplies. But other than that though, I don't really care too much about them. I generally just sell the crates early on at the black market. But anyways, let's keep on scanning. See if we can get a mission up. Here comes the next month.
Pick up their trail.
Incoming message for you,
Go hang up on the hunter there. Now, it's very important that you take a look at the screen. Now, in vanilla, I just tended to click through everything, but that was a bad habit, because I learned very quickly that there's some really dangerous things that they can do here. Right now, not so much. Warlock isn't really doing much. The assassin is training to increase her strength, get more abilities. The hunter over here is getting ready to do a scanning times at a temporarily increased dark event. This can be really annoying, but at least it's only temporary, so it's not super bad. Okay, we get our ability to use our covert actions again. might as well make use of this. Let's go locate our Templars next. Now, it does require 3 corporals, and we only have 3 corporals, so
Commander, at this point,
it's
we've
time to
committed
get these
so
guys in
many of
here.
our soldiers to conducting covert actions that we're running low on manpower for our own
There we
tactical
go.
operations.
And those guys will be out for
We'll need to
17
recruit
days.
new forces if we're going to
Keep
keep
on
this
scanning
up.
over here, try to find our next liberation mission. Missed shots on Advent officers and priests will trigger return fire. Oh no, this is terrible. Imagine you like walk next to an Advent officer and you just try to shoot him in the face, but you miss and he just turns around and one-shots your soldiers. That's exactly what's gonna happen with this. Alright then, but we got another mission over here. This is a 10 to 12 enemy mission. So this is a little bit tougher than the ones that we're used to. We got a full squad of 5 over here. It's a bit tougher, but I think they can handle it. Gotta extract some supplies, so let's go do that. And yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video over here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Leave comments also, because that also helps out with the algorithm, and it would be very much appreciated. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a nice day, and bye-bye.